Hey dudes, what's up? So this is Autistic Success, and today I want to talk about 9 to 5 jobs and how they are not ideal for autistics. So I'm still working a 9 to 5 job, there you go. But actually, I'm on my way to become independent and quit hopefully. So basically, today I want to expand on two ideas why I think that 9 to 5 jobs are simply not suitable for autistics. The first one is simply that most autistics have like insanely asymmetrical skill sets. They're so-called special interests or autistic talents, in which are a few areas where you could deliver 150, 180, 200% even. But the problem is that at most 9 to 5 jobs, you just simply can't. You cannot deliver that much because the company has a rigid structure, and even if you could do that, it's not desired. Your colleagues are not gonna like you, but even your boss is not gonna like you in the long run. Your colleagues obviously are not gonna like you because you're gonna put them in bad light. If they do a similar job as you at the same company, then obviously they're gonna be compared to you, so they're gonna be worse off. And if they don't, but your job performance still affects them, then they might also have to work quicker or more to be able to keep up with your speed. So that's the issue. Basically, you're not going to be liked, and even your boss is not going to be happy. So you might think, wow, my boss is going to be very happy if I deliver a lot. Yeah, maybe at the beginning, but after some time, he's going to be turning from impressed to upset because more work and more speed is just simply more work for him. So he is going to be more stressed. He has to work more basically to keep up with your pace, and also he's going to notice very quickly that it's not going to be stable. So either he also keep up with your pace, or it's going to be unstable and you're going to be frustrated or whatever. So he's also going to be mad because you are just basically causing an imbalance in the company structure, and that's a big issue. And the other big issue is that you also, in most cases, at least this is my experience in my current job, where I'm working as R&D manager, but also in previous jobs or even academia actually, is that I couldn't do that. I could deliver more in a few areas every now and then, but in general, on a steady basis, I cannot, because it just, the company speed and bureaucratic processes and whatever, it's just slow. You just cannot do that. It's just not designed. It's a rigid structure where you have to do A from A to B, but you just cannot deliver that much that quickly because it just doesn't fit into the structure, and it's also not expected from you. So as I said, it's just not really gonna work. You are gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be depressed in the long run because you have a special talent where you excel really and you really beat everybody else in the world, and you just cannot show that. You just cannot do that. So I don't know. This is also why basically I'm really demotivated at my current job, but also previous jobs, because I just can't. It's very early on. I noticed that it doesn't make a difference. I just cannot do that, and you are completely held back by bureaucratic processes or by the speed of your colleagues or your boss. Mostly, actually, this is where I have been mostly held back by the speed of my colleagues or even the speed of my supervisor in academia. Yeah, it's just frustrating. You're gonna get depressed, demotivated. You're gonna quiet quit probably, which is a good option, but I don't know. It's not for real life. So this is one of the main reasons, and the second main reason why I think it's not ideal for autistics to work 9 to 5 jobs is because at the same time you cannot deliver your hyper talents. You also have to deliver 100% in other areas where you simply can't. You cannot. Let's say presentations or public speaking or internal politics or HR stuff or bureaucratic stuff, or for me it's mostly simply sitting 8-9 hours in an office at my chair every day. You just can't. Or even if you can, you are going to destroy yourself. You're going to be hyper exhausted because it's an insane stress that you have to deliver also in fields where you just simply cannot. And you get no excuse. You cannot say, hey boss, yeah, but I deliver 200% in that field, so I just might only deliver 10% in this field. No, it doesn't work. Nobody cares. They want 100% in your talented field where you could deliver more, but nobody cares about the rest. And you also have to deliver 100% or close to 100 in fields where you just simply suck. And that's a big issue because, as I said, autistics have an insanely, extremely asymmetrical skill set. They have skills where they are hyper talented. For me, it's mostly chemistry and critical thinking, problem solving, even languages actually. I'm not even working in my mother tongue, obviously. But at the same time, there are also skills where autistics, or at least it depends, but it varies, but each autistic person sucks, very much sucks. And you have no excuse. You cannot get like somehow exemption from that, or at least in most jobs, it's not possible. So that is a big issue, that basically you are not only going to be demotivated and frustrated because you're unexploited talent, but you're also going to be always overstretched, overstressed also, anxious, overthinking, because you also have to deliver a lot of things which you suck at and which other people can deliver. Mostly social things, or simply I would say following the thinking pattern of other people, which, for example, for me, it's very difficult. And that's gonna suck. So you're gonna be depressed and anxious at the same time, which is why it's not ideal to work a 9 to 5 job. And the other idea, which is like, I would say more like a deciding factor whether it can fit you, a 9 to 5 job or not, which is gonna make or break it, the whole experience, is if you can stay in your autistic word, in your autistic true self, i.e. you don't have to mask, or you have to. And that's the very big deal, because if you have to mask and act 8-9 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week, it's just not going to be sustainable. It's not. I know, even for myself, I downsized myself to 80% because it's just too much. It's not even the work. The work is easy. Even the boring bureaucratic stuff, you can do that. You can get used to that, but having to mask every day, every week, it's just not impossible, and it's just not possible. And this is why either you are going to be forced to quit, or you are going to hate it so much that you are going to quit, or you are going to be so exhausted or even get sick that you are going to quit. But I think this fact, whether you can stay in your autistic word, in your autistic true self, or you have to mask every day, every hour, it's going to make or break it. So that's why I believe that home office is a viable, a very good option, alternative for a lot of autistic people who still work office jobs. But unfortunately, companies are just way too obsolete, and they just cannot recognize the importance of home office. Also, I know in a few areas it's not possible, but I do believe this is going to make or break your job experience, and whether you're going to have a fulfilling, happy, satisfactory job and life, or you're gonna absolutely hate it. So I don't know, this is my experience at least, but I'm sure there are autistic people who love their 9 to 5 jobs, and I would love to hear about your experience or your tips and tricks, how you make it work, because I'm not really able to make it work, but it's my issue, I guess. So yeah, let me know if you have any good tips, and if you have any good experience with working in 9 to 5 jobs and succeeding and not being frustrated or depressed. And I guess see you in the next one. Bye bye.